So let's bring in Political Editor Andrew Clennell. Andrew, I thought that news conference with Jim Chalmers was really interesting at a range of levels. First of all, the tough call on the rebates, but secondly, hardly overwhelming endorsement of his cabinet colleague Anika Wells.
Yeah, that's why I've got up, and I'm glad to see that you've come up with the same view as I have, Kieran. I mean, I think that walkout grab of Jim Chalmers will get a run everywhere, and I think it deserves to. He can say that that was basically his last question anyway, but I thought it was quite deliberate. And I think it sends a message to his colleagues and to Anika Wells and to the public that he is not ecstatic at the spending of Anika Wells. And we know the Prime Minister is a fan of Anika Wells and that he will back her to the hilt. But we saw her performance yesterday. We've seen these story after story of what can only be described as rorts, frankly, Kieran, and taking the mickey in terms of, they may be the entitlements, but she's taking them to the edge. And she's been spending our money in a profligate manner at a time where Jim Chalmers has to do the hard line-by-line budget work, as does the Finance Minister, Katie Gallagher, and come out today, he would have been told today, okay, we've made the decision in Cabinet ahead of your mid-year economic statement. Tell Australians they're not having this subsidy on their energy bills anymore. Told to come out today on a day when this Anika Wells story is on fire, and you cannot help but make the contrast. So, to your point, he's saying the Prime Minister and the Minister have been talking about this. That's what he's saying. He's saying that, he's not saying, well, I back Anika Wells, she's a great minister. He's not saying, well, we spend a lot of time away from our families. We deserve to have them at certain events. And I'll put it to you that one of the reasons he's doing this is Jim Chalmers is a guy who knows retail politics, and he knows that, frankly, this sort of stuff is indefensible, Kieran.
The payments of flights to the Boxing Day test, Aaron Violi picked it up there. That's the sort of stuff that would resonate with voters. They hear that and they think, what? You go as minister, fine. Maybe you pick up the tab for the flights for your partner. That's the sort of thing that would resonate with punters.
100%. Same with the Thredbo flights. Did her husband and kids go business class there? They were pretty expensive flights. Maybe people would be okay with them obviously sharing her accommodation, slightly more expensive accommodation, but the flights. And then there's the Adelaide trip. I mean, I could go on all day here, Kieran, but the Adelaide trip, she wouldn't admit on Sunday Agenda whether or not she had the invitation to her friend's 40th birthday first or scheduled the meetings first. Well, I can tell you why, because there's no doubt in my mind she gets the 40th birthday invite. And so she goes, oh, well, I want to go business, not economy. So I'll have the taxpayer pay. And she's welcome to come on and deny this, by the way. And so I'll schedule some official meetings. I mean, as I said to her on air yesterday, she wouldn't be Robinson Crusoe amongst the politicians there. But what we're seeing here is a pattern of behaviour. And the $2,000 Paris meal, when she gets there, 2 different receipts, split with the ambassador the receipts, perhaps maybe so it doesn't look so bad. I mean, that is really excessive spending on a dinner for 4 people and no stakeholders involved. Not like someone from the Olympic Committee, just her staff or a departmental person and the ambassador. And then was every care taken to keep those New York flights down in cost? And did the government even consider, look, Anika, maybe you can give a remote address to this UN function because we've got the Prime Minister there and you've got to deal with this 000 debacle. So it all layers upon itself. And Jim Chalmers would know, well, I've got to go out here and tell Australians they're going to have more expensive energy bills. What the hell am I supposed to say to this? And I think he answered it in a way which I agree with your assessment is basically he didn't want to back her in. It's as simple as that. He had to toe the government line and say the talking points, but he didn't want to back the minister.